Hi, welcome to the video that is going to demonstrate how to create a chart using Excel spreadsheet. To begin, I want to state the objective to why we're even doing this. And basically, charts can create a visual for the viewer to look at that's easier to identify specific content than through just looking at numbers. So what you're seeing right here is an example of a volleyball team and their athletes. And the coach for this team kept stats throughout the season based on criteria. So in this particular case, the skill set here at the top is listed. This is what was important for them to track. And then you have your athletes here on the right-hand side. So our objective to this is we want to be able to identify the most consistently successful athlete on the team. Let's say we're looking for the most valuable player. And if we're basing that on the skill sets, this would be a perfect tool for that. So as we have put our information in, you'll see here, we want to go ahead and take this information and create a chart so that we can look at it a little bit more easily. To start off with, we need to tell the application or the software program spreadsheet that we want to deal with specific information. So we're going to start down here or up here, either one, and drag and highlight the data that we want to include for our chart. Once we've done that, we can go up here to insert. And then you'll notice right here, you have a variety of different charts that you can use. You'll notice that each one has a little down arrow. So I'm going to click on that down arrow, and it'll give you some examples. And as you drag your mouse across each one, it will display what that will look like. In this case, I want to see some other options. So I'm going to click on more. And here you can see the whole layout of charts that it will create. So I can create column charts, line graphs, pie graphs, and all the way down to the combo, which for this particular example, I'm going to go ahead and choose column. Now, when I click on that, you'll notice over here, it gives us two different options. So if I rest my mouse on this one, I get kind of an idea that it's going to show me the athletes, and then as a secondary, it will tell me how that athlete did on each skill. Whereas if I go over to this option, it focuses on the skill and then identifies where the athlete was for that particular skill. So since I want to see the most consistent player across the board with all of the skills, I'm going to go ahead and select this option here because it focuses on the athlete. So I'm going to click and then tell it OK. That will drop my chart into my screen. And a lot of times it may overlap the data that you've put into your spreadsheet. So I'm going to take my mouse and just rest it here in the corner and click and drag it over. If you try to click and drag it here, it just highlights that data and it could mess your chart up visually. So that is the easier way to move your chart. So basically what we see in this example is we have each athlete listed, and within each athlete's area of that chart, it shows how that athlete did with each skill. And the number here on this side is just the basic number of how many times that athlete successfully accomplished that skill throughout the season. So as I look at this, and when I click on this chart, you'll notice that the chart design ribbon appears here at the top. And if you move your mouse over these different chart designs, it changes the visual quality of your chart. So you'll notice that there's a little down arrow here that gives us additional views of the same information, and you can just pick the one that you like the best. I think I like this one. It has kind of a shadow effect to it, so I'm going to click on that. And you'll notice that there is an option here called switch row and column. So basically what that means is here's your row and here's your column. You'll notice that it lists the row up here and the column information down here. If I switch, it reverses those two. So I can easily toggle back and forth. So I'm going to click on that again to return it to its original view. And then I'm going to go over here to quick layout. because I can also change where things in my chart are located. And you'll notice that in this one, it slants the player's name, and on the right-hand side, it shows the skill set. And I can just go through and, again, choose what I think looks the best in terms of my objectives. So I think I like this first one. So I'm going to click on that. And then finally, I want to change the name of my chart. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to triple click, and then I will change the title of this chart. And then click outside, and it will establish that as the title of my chart. So after I get done looking at my information, one more thing, if I am presenting this to like an audience somewhere else, and I just want the bar graph or the column or the chart, then I can easily copy that. Just click on your chart, and Control-C on your keyboard will copy that. Then I can go into another program like PowerPoint or Publisher, and I can Control-V, which will paste that information into my screen. Okay, and that way you could present that information that comes from your data. So as you're looking at this information, remember the objective to our chart was to identify the most consistently successful player. And as I look at the information here, I notice a lot of different elements. But what I notice the most is the one player that has the highest, most consistent bars on the skill set, and that would be this player right here. You do have another player that did really well with, in this case, serves as that one, but the other skills are not as consistently successful as this one. So visually, I can identify that my most successful player is right here. And that is just one example of how you can use charts for the Excel spreadsheet program. And that concludes the video.